replying, whether you are writing letter in response to advertisement or whether you are writing unsolicited letter. Mention that also in your letter. At the same time, state the details of your business and what you are interested in. If the buyer, that is, if the writer of the letter, inquiry letter, has some retail shop of stationery or has some retail shop of clothes, garments, and if he is placing order, mention in detail about the business, that you are a retailer of XYZ shop and you are interested in specific product. That should be mentioned in detail, so that because of this, the seller would get the idea that in what context he should reply. Ask the terms and condition clearly. Clarity should be there. Whatever query is there in your mind, you should clearly, without any hesitation, ask to the seller, because if there is confusion in your mind and if the transaction is started keeping that confusion, it may spoil the business relationship. If you place an order before without knowing the quality, without knowing the discount, which may lead to further arguments, chaos, misconception and misunderstanding. So to avoid such misconception, to avoid such misunderstanding, ask. The more you ask, the more clear the doubt will be, and more smooth the relationship, the business relationship will go on. That is why ask clearly, ask specifically. Give an idea of quality you need, which quality of product you require. Give complete idea. If you are asking for concession, give reasons. Sometimes as a customer you may ask for discount, for concession. So when you are asking concession, उनको लालच दे दो थोड़ी, that if you will provide me discount of 10%, I will place more order. So वो लालच से customer, the seller would attract to get an order, and he may give more concession, he may give more discount. If you will mention the reason of getting or of asking concession properly, he may provide information happily. Now look at the sample of solicited inquiry. I have just mentioned the content, how to open such letter, which kind of tone you should mention. You should be very clear, very specific, very concise when you write such letter. In the opening paragraph, we read with interest your advertisement in the Industrial Times of 18th December 2014. Now look here. This is a solicited inquiry. As I told you, solicited inquiry is always in the response of some advertisement, and we have clearly mentioned that this is in response of your advertisement, given the source of the information, given the source of the advertisement, and we are impressed by the description of your product. Here the product is aluminium screws and fitting made by you. Now introduction of yours, that who you are, as whether you are the dealer, whether you have retailer shop or whatever. We are leading construction contractors and dealers in this area. The demand for aluminium is increasing. And now by this sentence you are attracting seller to give more discount. See, we have large number of inquiries and orders too. We are also a shopkeeper, we are also a seller, but as a retailer we have large number of inquiries. It means we are indirectly here telling the seller that you may get a large number of order. Kindly send your quotation, catalogue and price list for wholesale purchases. Since our annual requirement is in metal fitting of all kinds exceed ₹3 lakhs. यहाँ पे थोड़ी लालच दे दी है कि our annual purchasing would be more than 3 lakhs. We would like to place regular orders with you. Hence, please quote your most favorable price and terms. Right? In closing paragraph, as I mentioned you earlier, that it should be in tone in such a way that it should attract the seller to answer our inquiry. Yours faithfully, and then the closing. Now this inquiry letter, when a buyer writes an inquiry providing certain sentences like we would place an order on the basis of your inquiry, this leads to further correspondence. This leads the seller to make reply, and reply is the next step of inquiry in business. If anyone writes an inquiry letter, it becomes seller's duty to reply whether the good is available or whether the good is not available. A letter of reply to an inquiry must be promptly written so as to able to secure an order, because placing an order is always depend on the reply. If the seller would reply our inquiry more promptly, quickly, he may get order quickly. The prompt reply suggests seller's interest and consideration for buyer. It is a business etiquette. If the seller replies promptly, consideration, it would be consideration, and as a tone of courtesy for buyer. It is a business etiquette whether the good is available, whether the product is available with the seller, or even if the product is not available, he should reply the inquiry. That is a business courtesy, that is a business etiquette. So reply letter should be as prompt as possible, should be as quick as possible. Delay in reply would be considered counterproductive. It reflects a poor image of seller. If a seller would delay in reply, if a seller would not reply, or if seller would avoid inquiry of the buyer, of the customer, it would create wrong image of him, right? उतने में वो शायद बायर दूसरी कहीं और चला जा सकता है, for he may miss the order. That is why prompt reply is necessary. Whether the good is available or whether it is not available, we should be very prompt. The seller should be very quick in replying. It is again a tone of courtesy. Now, what does reply letter contain? Reply letter should always provide answer to an inquiry. Reply is answer to an inquiry. Whatever question, whatever doubts is asked in inquiry letter should be made clear in reply letter. Reply about price by enclosing catalogue or quotation. Reply of terms of sale, the mode of payment, that the payment would be on cash, payment would be in check, whatever the requirement is there. Time period, whether the product will be available in 15 days, a month, whatever, mention the time period clearly, and mention the mode of transportation, whether it would be through ship, whether it would be through road transportation or whatever. So reply about the terms of the sale, discount, credit or mode of payment. As I told you, mention the time period of the delivery, validity of offer. If the seller is providing an offer, if the seller is providing a seasonal discount, like discount for Diwali, discount for due to Christmas, he should always mention the time period. That offer is valid only up to 15 days, only for 15 days. Mention the specific date if possible. That offer is only up to 1st January. So mention the time period of the offer. Mention transportation or packaging, the mode of packaging, the mode of transportation. Now, in what conditions the reply letter is written? Reply to the first inquiry. If it is solicited or unsolicited inquiry, if the buyer is making an inquiry for the first time, the reply letter should be drafted in such a way that it sounds as selling points. Here, the seller has to introduce the new product. So the tone should be in such a way to attract the customer, because here the buyer, the writer of an inquiry letter is the customer. To get the hold of the customer, we should introduce the product to promote the sell. Here the seller, the person who writes a reply letter acts as a salesperson To turn an inquiry into order, he should write the letter meticulously. He should give each and every answer in such a way as if he is doing a marketing of that product. Because on the basis of this reply, the buyer would ask an order. As I told you, reply letter acts as a salesperson. Reply letter replaces a salesperson. Here the letters are like a typed talk. It is not possible to promote our product going door to door. This can be done through reply letter. Once we get the inquiry, we don't have to miss the opportunity to reply in such a way that we may attract the customer. Convince or persuade the buyer about the quality of product. Explain your quality. Convince them, persuade them that yours is one of the best quality in the market, about the terms and condition, because on the basis of your convincing power, you may get order, right? Arouse reader's interest and creates in him a desire to buy. As I told you, act as a salesperson. Keep your tone in reply as a salesperson, as if you are doing marketing. It should arouse reader's interest, that is buyer's interest, and creates in him a desire to buy. After reading your reply, after getting your quotation, your offer, buyer should think that he should not miss an opportunity to do a business with you. So draft a letter in such a way. Now reply to a regular customer. If you are a regular customer, if you get a letter from regular customer, be very clear, be very accurate, and give a correct information which is asked in your letter. Don't give wrong information or incorrect information, unclear or vague information, because each point asked in inquiry letter should be mentioned clearly, should be replied clearly. After reading a reply letter, there should not remain any confusion in the reader's mind. There should not remain any further inquiry in reader's mind. So be very clear, be very accurate in giving information, be very polite and direct, because the more you would polite, the more you would attract your customer. Again, at the same time, express your gratitude for taking an interest or for continuing an interest in the seller and its products and services. He or she may be a regular customer. You may be regularly dealing with him or her. So, as he asked further inquiry, as he made further inquiry, you should be thankful to him or her for showing more interest or for continuing his interest in you and your company and your product. Tips of drafting reply. How to draft reply. Refer to the date of letter, as reply letter is written in response to the inquiry letter. It is always linked. So mention the date of the reply letter. That here you may have got a letter of 15th December and you are writing on the basis in the reference of your letter dated 15th December. So mention the date of the letter very accurately. Mention the reference number if possible. Right? So refer to the date of the letter so that it shows the link, it shows the connection. Here when the receiver receives the letter, he should not remain in confusion कि मुझे कौन सा letter मिल गया. To make his confusion clear, to make his purpose of getting letter clear, mention in the first paragraph itself, mention in the opening line itself the date of letter, that in which reference of which letter you are replying his inquiry. As I told you, express gratitude to the party for his or her letter because he has taken interest in your product, he has taken interest in your company, in you. So be thankful. Express gratitude as a courtesy. Keep your tone full of courtesy. When you draft such letters, you should always keep the principles of letter writing in your mind. Tone should be very courtesy, so express gratitude. Show appreciation for his or her interest in the company and its product or services. Because this business letters, this business correspondence is always formal. You should be formal. You have to remain formal when you talk with each other, though through letters. So keep your tone very polite and full of courtesy. Answer all the questions in letter of inquiry. Whatever is asked, answer completely. If the customer is asking about price, mention complete information regarding price along with the product. If he is asking about the availability of product, mention it clearly that the product is available up to so and so date and this much product or this many products are available. So be very clear when you answer all such questions. Every question should not remain unanswered. Each question should be clearly answered. If possible, add relevant information describing goods, prices, advantages, favorable terms, etc. If he has asked about a model, for example, if he is making an inquiry of mobile phone, right? You are a dealer of HTC, for example, and if he is making an inquiry about HTC Desire 501, and if your company or if you have some another good model of the same product of HTC, mention that also. Give information about other product also if required, showing that okay, other than this we also have this product also now. So if possible, add relevant information describing goods, describe price. If you provide discount, if he is asking price and your company is offering discount in December, mention that as your regular customer we may offer you discount. Mention the specific date, favorable terms and condition. State the term clearly and concisely. The time, the place, the mode of delivery, the mode of payment, discount you are offering, state it very clear and concise, in a concise manner. As I told you, your letter should be very concise. Your letter should be very precise. Whatever is asked, only that should be answered. State the time for which the offer is open. If you are mentioning that you are